Take a slow and gentle breath, allowing your body to settle into stillness, letting the noise of the present fade quietly into the distance. There is nothing you need to do right now, nowhere you need to go, only a calm and peaceful journey into a distant and quieter time. Tonight, we move slowly, without urgency, into the soft rhythm of a medieval village at night, a place where darkness does not bring fear, but instead carries a deep and steady sense of calm. The sun has already disappeared beyond the horizon, leaving behind a fading glow that gently dissolves into the evening sky. Shades of soft blue and muted gold linger for a moment before giving way to the quiet embrace of night. The air has cooled, becoming softer and lighter, carrying with it the faint scent of earth, wood smoke, and distant fields resting after a long day of work. The village lies quietly across the land, a small gathering of wooden cottages connected by narrow dirt paths. No lights shine brightly here, only the soft flicker of firelight escaping through tiny windows. Inside one of these cottages, you sit near a small hearth, watching the slow and steady movement of the flames. Their light dances gently across the wooden walls, casting long and shifting shadows that move without sound. The warmth of the fire reaches you slowly, wrapping around your body in a calm and steady presence. It is not strong, but it is enough. Outside, the world has grown quiet. The sounds of the day have faded, replaced by a softer, more distant rhythm. Somewhere far away, a faint rustle moves through the fields, carried by a light breeze that drifts gently across the land. It does not disturb the silence, but instead becomes part of it. There is no urgency here, no sudden movement, no sharp sound. Everything unfolds slowly, as though time itself has softened, allowing each moment to stretch gently into the next. The fire continues to burn quietly in the hearth, its soft crackling sound blending gently with the stillness of the night. Each small movement of the flame feels slow and deliberate, as though it too follows the calm rhythm of the village. You remain seated, your body relaxed, your breath steady. There is no need to move quickly, no reason to interrupt the quiet flow of the moment. The light inside the cottage is dim, shaped only by the glow of the fire. Shadows stretch across the earth, shifting softly with every flicker, creating a slow and almost hypnotic pattern. The wooden beams above you rest in silence, darkened by years of smoke, holding the quiet history of countless nights just like this one. Outside, the night deepens almost unnoticed. The last traces of light fade completely, leaving the sky filled with a soft and endless darkness. Far above, faint stars begin to appear, scattered gently across the sky. They do not shine brightly, but instead glow softly, adding to the calm and distant beauty of the night. The air has become cooler now, slipping quietly through small openings in the walls. It carries with it the scent of damp earth and resting crops, a reminder of the world beyond the cottage. Occasionally, a distant sound emerges, the quiet step of an animal moving somewhere unseen, or the soft creak of wood as another cottage settles into the night. These sounds do not disturb the calm. They simply exist within it, rising and fading without urgency. Time feels different here, slower, softer, almost weightless. There are no hours to count, no tasks to complete, only the quiet passing of moments, one after another. You shift slightly, adjusting your position, feeling the warmth of the fire and the coolness of the night air meeting gently around you. And in this balance, there is a deep and steady sense of peace that settles quietly within. The warmth of the fire continues to settle gently into the room, spreading slowly through the still air as the night deepens without sound. You remain seated, not out of effort, but because the quiet invites you to stay exactly where you are. The flickering light moves across the walls in soft, shifting patterns, never repeating in the same way twice. It creates a calm and almost hypnotic rhythm that requires no attention, yet gently holds it. The wooden floor beneath you feels steady and grounded, holding the quiet memory of countless evenings just like this one. Nothing here is new, and yet nothing feels old. Outside, the village rests in a shared silence, each cottage holding its own small flame, each life slowing in its own quiet way. The paths that connect the homes are now empty, their surface cool beneath the night air. No footsteps disturb them, no voices carry across the distance. A light breeze moves slowly between the buildings, soft enough that it barely touches the earth. It carries the faint scent of ash, dry grass, and distant fields that now sleep under the open sky. Somewhere far beyond the village, a quiet sound emerges, subtle and distant. Perhaps the movement of an animal or the shifting of leaves in the dark. It rises briefly, then fades again into stillness. Inside, your breath remains slow and even, matching the steady rhythm of the fire. There is no need to think, no need to act, only to exist within this calm moment. Time continues to drift, not forward, but outward, stretching gently across the quiet. And as the night settles deeper around you, everything feels stable, soft, and completely at rest. Gradually, you shift your position, rising slowly from where you sit near the fire. The movement is unhurried, smooth, and familiar, as though it has been repeated countless times before without thought. The warmth lingers on your skin as you step lightly across the floor, the soft glow of the fire following you only part of the way before fading into shadow. The interior of the cottage remains quiet and unchanged, each object resting in its place, untouched, steady, and reliable. A simple wooden table stands nearby, its surface dimly lit, holding nothing more than the traces of the day that has already passed. The walls, rough and uneven, seem to absorb the silence rather than reflect it. They hold the calm within the space, keeping everything soft and contained. You move toward the small opening that serves as a window, pausing as you look out into the night. Beyond it, the village is barely visible now, its shapes softened by darkness and distance. The sky above stretches wide and endless, filled with faint stars that glow quietly without demanding attention. They remain still, distant, and constant. The air that enters through the opening is cool and gentle, brushing lightly against your face. It carries with it the calm presence of the sleeping land beyond. There is no movement outside, no sudden change. Everything remains steady, as though the entire world has slowed to match the rhythm of the night. You stand there for a moment longer, not observing, not thinking, simply existing within the quiet connection between inside and outside. And as you slowly turn back toward the warmth of the fire, there is a quiet sense that nothing has been lost, and nothing needs to be found. The fire has settled into a softer glow now, its flames lower, steadier, casting a dim and gentle light that barely reaches the edges of the room. The space feels smaller, more enclosed, yet more peaceful. You return slowly to your place near the hearth, lowering yourself carefully, feeling the warmth gather once again around you. It is familiar, constant, and quietly reassuring. The sounds of the night remain distant and faint. No single noise rises above the rest, and nothing breaks the stillness that surrounds the cottage. Your movements slow even further now, guided not by intention, but by the natural rhythm of rest. Each breath becomes deeper, more even, blending seamlessly into the calm atmosphere. The air inside the room feels balanced, neither too warm nor too cold, holding a gentle stillness that does not shift. Shadows continue to move lightly across the walls, but more slowly now, as the fire loses its intensity. The motion becomes softer, less noticeable, almost fading into the background. Outside, the darkness feels complete. The village fully at rest, the land beyond quiet and undisturbed. There is no sense of time passing, no awareness of hours. Only the steady presence of the moment as it extends quietly forward. Your body begins to settle more deeply into stillness, the weight of the day dissolving without effort. There is nothing left to complete, nothing waiting to be done. The fire gives one soft crackle, then another, small and gentle. And with each fading sound, the night seems to grow even quieter, even calmer. Everything around you remains unchanged, stable, and at ease. And within this quiet, there is a deep and natural sense of rest that continues to settle, slowly and completely. The night settles even deeper around the village, not through any sudden change, but through a quiet and gradual softening of everything. The air feels stiller now, the darkness more complete, as though the world itself has gently lowered its voice. Inside the cottage, the fire continues to glow, its light dim and steady, no longer flickering strongly, but breathing slowly in a calm and predictable rhythm. You remain close to it, your body at ease, your posture relaxed. There is no reason to move, no impulse to change your position, only the quiet comfort of remaining exactly where you are. The warmth reaches you in a subtle way now, no longer spreading quickly, but resting gently against your skin like a soft presence that does not fade. The wooden beams above remain silent, holding the same stillness as the rest of the space. Nothing creaks, nothing shifts, as though even the structure of the cottage has come to rest. Outside, the paths remain empty, untouched since the last footsteps faded away. The earth has cooled, releasing the last traces of the day's warmth into the night air. Somewhere in the distance, a faint sound rises briefly, perhaps the quiet movement of something unseen. It does not disturb the calm, but simply exists within it before disappearing once more. Your breath continues slowly, steady and even, blending with the quiet rhythm of the fire. There is no separation between you and the moment, only a soft and continuous stillness. Time feels distant now, almost forgotten. There are no markers, no changes to follow, only the gentle continuation of the night as it stretches forward without end. And as everything around you remains calm and unmoving, there is a deep sense that nothing needs to happen, nothing needs to change. Everything is already exactly as it should be. The quiet of the night begins to take on a deeper presence, not heavier, but more complete. It surrounds the cottage gently, filling the space between every sound, every movement, every breath. The fire, now lower than before, gives off a soft and steady glow, its light barely shifting, casting only the faintest shadows along the earthen walls. You notice how the room feels softer in this light, less defined, as though the edges of everything have gently faded into one another. Your body remains still, supported by the quiet warmth and the calm air. There is no tension, no need to adjust, only the natural comfort of being at rest. Outside, the sky remains vast and silent, the stars fixed in their distant places. They do not move, they do not change, they simply exist, steady and constant. The breeze that once moved gently through the village has softened even further, now barely present. The air feels almost still, as though it too has settled into rest. A faint scent of smoke lingers, mixed with the coolness of the night, creating a quiet and familiar atmosphere that feels unchanged. The world beyond the cottage remains unseen, yet deeply present. The fields, the paths, the distant trees, all resting together under the same quiet sky. Time continues to drift, unnoticed and unmeasured. There is no beginning to this moment, and no clear end, only a continuous sense of calm that extends gently forward. The fire gives a small, quiet shift, a subtle movement that barely breaks the silence. And then everything returns to stillness once more. You remain where you are, calm and undisturbed, as the night continues to unfold in its slow and peaceful way. Gradually, without any clear moment marking the change, the fire begins to settle further into glowing embers. The flames that once moved gently now rest lower, their light softer and more contained. The warmth remains, but in a quieter form, no longer reaching outward, but staying close, steady and calm. You shift slightly, not out of discomfort, but as part of the natural rhythm of rest. The movement is slow, barely noticeable, and quickly fades back into stillness. The cottage feels quieter than before, though no sound has truly left. Instead, everything has softened, blending into a single, continuous silence. The walls, the floor, the beams above, all seem to hold this quiet together, creating a space where nothing feels separate or distant. Outside, the night continues unchanged, the darkness steady, the sky wide, the village resting without movement. The earth has cooled completely now, holding only the calm presence of night. No warmth rises from it, no shift interrupts its stillness. Far away, a faint and distant sound appears once more, so soft it is almost imagined. It lingers for a moment, then fades, leaving no trace behind. Your breath remains slow and even, each inhale and exhale flowing naturally into the next. There is no effort, no awareness of time passing, only the quiet continuation of being. The embers glow softly, their light barely reaching across the room. Yet it is enough to maintain the gentle presence of warmth and calm. And as everything settles into this deeper stillness, the night feels complete, whole, and entirely at peace, without change, without urgency, and without end. The embers rest quietly within the hearth, glowing with a soft and steady light that barely shifts, as though the fire itself has settled into sleep. The warmth remains gentle, no longer spreading outward, but holding its place with calm consistency. You sit in stillness, your body fully relaxed, your breath slow and even. There is no sense of movement, no need to adjust, only a quiet awareness of the moment as it continues without interruption. The air inside the cottage feels balanced, carrying a faint trace of warmth mixed with the cool presence of the night beyond the walls. The wooden beams above remain silent, dark and unmoving, holding the same calm as everything around you. Nothing creaks, nothing stirs, as though the entire structure has softened into rest. Outside, the village lies unchanged, wrapped in a deep and steady quiet. No footsteps cross the narrow paths, no voices rise to break the silence. The sky stretches endlessly overhead, filled with faint stars that glow softly, distant and unchanging. Their presence adds to the calm, rather than drawing attention away from it. A subtle shift in the air passes gently through the space, so light it is almost unnoticeable. It carries with it the quiet scent of the surrounding land, resting peacefully beneath the night sky. Time feels distant now, as though it no longer moves forward, but simply exists, steady and continuous. The embers give a faint pulse of light, then settle again into stillness. And in this quiet rhythm, everything feels complete, balanced, and entirely at ease, with nothing left to change and nothing left to begin. The stillness deepens further, not by becoming heavier, but by becoming more complete. The space around you feels softer, quieter, as though every sound has gently faded into the background. The embers continue to glow faintly, their light dim and steady, barely illuminating the edges of the room. Shadows no longer move as they once did, but rest quietly along the walls. You remain seated, your posture unchanged, your body fully at ease. There is no awareness of time passing, no thought of what comes next, only the calm presence of the moment as it extends without interruption. The air inside the cottage feels cooler now, the warmth of the fire settling into a gentle balance with the night. It does not shift suddenly, but changes slowly, almost without notice. Outside, the village remains silent, each cottage resting in the same quiet rhythm. No light shines brightly, no movement breaks the calm. The sky above holds its steady darkness, the stars fixed in their distant places. Nothing moves quickly, nothing demands attention. Everything remains constant. A faint sound emerges briefly from somewhere far away, soft and distant. It lingers for only a moment before fading completely, leaving the silence untouched. Your breath continues in a slow and steady pattern, each inhale blending into the next exhale. There is no effort, no interruption, only a natural and continuous flow. The embers shift slightly, releasing a small and quiet glow before settling once again. And as the night continues to unfold, everything remains calm, steady, and deeply at rest, without change, without urgency, and without end. The quiet presence of the night continues to surround the cottage, steady and unbroken, as though the world itself has paused in a state of gentle stillness. Nothing changes suddenly, nothing disturbs the calm that has settled over everything. The embers in the hearth now glow even more faintly, their light soft and subdued, barely reaching beyond their small circle of warmth. Yet their presence remains constant, a quiet reminder of the fire that once burned more brightly. You remain where you are, your body completely relaxed, your breathing slow and even. There is no tension, no need to move, only the quiet comfort of stillness. The air feels cooler now, though not cold. It carries a soft balance that neither rises nor falls, remaining steady within the space. Outside, the village remains unchanged, silent and at rest. The narrow paths lie empty, untouched by movement, while the surrounding land rests beneath the calm night sky. The stars above continue to glow faintly, distant and unmoving. They do not shift, they do not fade, they simply exist in quiet permanence. A barely noticeable movement of air passes through the cottage, so light it feels like nothing at all. It carries no sound, no change, only a subtle reminder of the world beyond the walls. Time continues to drift without measure, without direction. There is no beginning, no end, only the steady continuation of the moment. The embers give one final soft glow, then settle again into stillness. And in this quiet, everything feels complete, as though nothing more is needed, and nothing more will come. The night continues in its quiet rhythm, unchanged and undisturbed, as though time itself has softened into something gentle and unmeasured. The cottage holds a deep stillness, wrapping everything within it in calm. The embers in the hearth glow faintly now, their light barely visible, yet steady enough to maintain a soft presence in the darkness. They no longer flicker, but rest in a quiet and constant warmth. You remain in the same position, your body completely at ease, your breathing slow and natural. There is no awareness of movement, no sense of urgency, only the peaceful continuation of the moment. The air has cooled further, settling into a calm balance that feels neither warm nor cold, but simply present. The wooden walls and beams remain silent, holding the same steady stillness as before. Nothing shifts, nothing creaks, as though the entire structure is resting along with you. Outside, the village lies in complete silence, each home quiet and undisturbed, the paths empty and still beneath the night sky. The stars remain distant and constant, their soft glow unchanged, adding to the quiet sense of endless space. A faint trace of the earlier warmth lingers in the air, blending gently with the coolness of the night, creating a feeling that is both familiar and calm. Your breath continues in its steady rhythm, slow and even, blending seamlessly with the stillness around you. There is no separation between you and the quiet, and as the embers rest in their fading glow, the night feels complete, holding everything in a soft and endless calm, without movement, without change, and without end. The stillness deepens in a way that feels almost weightless, as though the world has gently released every remaining sound into silence. The cottage remains unchanged, yet somehow softer, quieter, more at rest. The embers now give off only the faintest light, barely enough to outline the space around them. Their warmth remains, but only as a quiet memory of what once was stronger. You sit in complete calm, your body fully relaxed, your breath slow and effortless. There is no awareness of time, no thought of what has passed or what will come, only the gentle presence of now. The air inside the cottage feels perfectly still, carrying no movement, no shift, only a quiet balance that remains steady. Outside, the village continues to rest beneath the night sky, unchanged and undisturbed. The land stretches quietly into the distance, held in the same calm darkness. The stars above remain fixed, distant and soft, their presence constant and unchanging. They do not move, they do not fade, they simply exist. A subtle stillness fills every space, every corner, every breath. Nothing interrupts it, nothing disturbs it. It simply continues. The embers give a faint and final glow, then settle further into quiet darkness. Their light now barely present, yet still enough to maintain a sense of warmth. Your breathing remains slow and steady, blending completely with the calm around you. There is no effort, no awareness, only rest. And in this deep and gentle stillness, everything feels whole, complete, and entirely at peace, as the night continues without change, without sound, and without end. The night has now reached a depth where everything feels suspended in quiet, as though the passage of time has slowed to a near stillness. The cottage, the air, and everything within it rests in a calm that feels complete. The embers have dimmed even further, their glow now soft and distant, barely visible against the surrounding darkness. Yet they remain, holding a final trace of warmth. You remain unmoving, your body fully at rest, your breath slow and gentle. There is no tension, no awareness of anything beyond the quiet presence of the moment. The air feels cooler now, steady and balanced, neither shifting nor changing. It simply exists, calm and still. The wooden structure of the cottage holds its silence, unchanged and unmoving, as though it too has settled into rest. Outside, the village remains silent, each path empty, each home still, all held beneath the wide and endless sky. The stars continue their quiet presence, distant and unchanged, offering no movement, no signal, only a soft and steady glow. A deep stillness fills the space completely, leaving no room for sound, no space for interruption. Everything is calm, everything is quiet. The embers give one last faint pulse of light, then return to their quiet glow. And even this small movement fades quickly back into stillness. Your breathing continues, slow and even, blending perfectly with the silence around you. There is no separation, only unity with the calm. And as the night holds everything in its quiet embrace, the world feels complete, resting gently in a state of perfect stillness, without movement, without change, and without end. The night remains deep and unbroken, holding everything in a quiet stillness that feels both gentle and endless. The cottage rests in near darkness now, with only the faintest trace of the embers remaining. Their glow is soft and distant, no longer illuminating the room, but simply existing as a quiet presence within the hearth. You remain where you are, your body fully relaxed, your breathing slow and steady. There is no movement, no awareness of time passing, only the calm continuation of the moment. The air feels cool and balanced, settled into a steady stillness that does not shift or change. The wooden walls and beams hold their silence, unmoving and constant, as though they have become part of the night itself. Outside, the village remains completely still, the paths empty, the land quiet beneath the vast sky. The stars continue to glow faintly above, distant and unchanging, adding to the sense of endless calm. A subtle sense of quiet fills every part of the space, leaving no room for sound, no interruption to the stillness. Your breath continues slowly, each inhale blending gently into the next exhale. There is no effort, no awareness, only rest. The embers give a faint and almost imperceptible shift, then settle once more into stillness. And even this small movement fades into the quiet. Everything feels complete, balanced, and deeply at peace. As the night continues without urgency, without change, and without end. The stillness of the night has now reached a point where it feels almost timeless, as though nothing exists beyond this quiet moment. The cottage remains wrapped in darkness, calm and undisturbed. The embers have faded further, their glow now barely visible, resting softly within the hearth like a distant memory of light. You remain at ease, your body fully supported by the quiet around you, your breath slow and even. There is no need to move, no thought to follow, only the gentle continuation of stillness. The air feels cool and steady, carrying no movement, no shift, only a quiet balance that remains unchanged. The wooden structure around you holds its silence, firm and unmoving, as though it too has settled into rest. Outside, the village lies in complete quiet, every path empty, every home still beneath the vast and silent sky. The stars remain distant and constant, their faint glow unchanged, offering no movement, no variation, only presence. A deep calm fills every corner of the space, leaving nothing untouched by its quiet presence. Your breathing continues naturally, slow and steady, blending completely with the stillness that surrounds you. The embers rest without movement, their light now so faint it feels as though it could disappear at any moment. Yet it remains soft and steady, and in this deep and gentle quiet, everything feels whole, complete, and entirely at rest, as the night continues without sound, without change, and without end. The night continues in perfect stillness, holding the world in a calm that feels endless and complete. The cottage is now almost entirely dark, with only the faintest trace of the embers remaining. Their glow is so soft it barely touches the space around them, existing quietly without drawing attention. You remain still, your body relaxed, your breathing slow and effortless. There is no awareness of time, no sense of movement, only the quiet presence of being. The air feels cool and settled, unchanged and unmoving, carrying no sound, no shift, only a gentle and constant calm. The wooden walls and beams remain silent, holding their place without movement, as though they are part of the stillness itself. Outside, the village remains untouched by sound or motion, resting beneath the vast and silent sky. The stars above continue to glow faintly, distant and steady, offering a quiet sense of continuity. A deep and uninterrupted silence fills the space, leaving nothing to disturb the calm. Everything rests exactly as it is. Your breath continues slowly, each inhale and exhale flowing naturally into the next, blending seamlessly with the quiet around you. The embers remain still, their light barely present, yet constant in its softness. And as the night holds everything in this deep stillness, the world feels complete, resting gently in a calm that does not change, does not move, and does not end. The night holds its quiet depth, unchanged and steady, as though the world has fully settled into rest. The cottage remains wrapped in darkness, calm and undisturbed. The embers in the hearth are now barely visible, their glow reduced to a soft and distant trace that gently lingers without movement. You remain completely at ease, your body relaxed, your breath slow and even. There is no sense of time passing, no awareness of anything beyond the calm presence of this moment. The air feels cool and still, balanced in a way that does not shift or change. It simply exists, soft and quiet. The wooden structure around you remains silent, holding its place without any movement, as though it has become part of the stillness itself. Outside, the village lies in perfect quiet, every path empty, every home resting beneath the wide and silent sky. The stars continue to glow faintly above, distant and constant, offering a quiet sense of continuity that does not draw attention. A deep and uninterrupted silence fills every part of the space, leaving nothing to disturb the calm. Everything remains exactly as it is. Your breathing continues slowly, each inhale blending gently into the next exhale, forming a steady and natural rhythm. The embers rest without change, their faint light barely present, yet constant in its softness. And in this quiet depth of night, everything feels complete, resting in a calm that does not move, does not shift, and does not end. The stillness continues without interruption, stretching gently across the night as though time itself has faded into the background. The cottage remains calm, wrapped in a soft and steady darkness. The embers have dimmed even further, their glow now so faint it feels almost imagined, yet still present in a quiet and subtle way. You remain in the same restful position, your body fully relaxed, your breath slow and effortless. There is no need to move, no thought to follow, only the peaceful continuation of being. The air feels cool and unmoving, carrying no sound, no change, only a gentle and constant balance. The wooden walls and beams hold their silence, unchanged and steady, as though they too have settled into a quiet rest. Outside, the village remains untouched by motion, every path empty, every space still beneath the vast night sky. The stars continue their distant glow, unchanging and calm, adding to the sense of endless quiet. A deep stillness fills the space completely, leaving no room for interruption. no space for sound. Everything remains as it is. Your breath continues its slow rhythm, steady and even, blending completely with the calm around you. The embers remain in their faint glow, unmoving and soft, offering only the slightest presence of light. And as the night continues in this gentle stillness, everything feels whole, complete, and entirely at peace, without movement, without change, and without end. The night has reached a quiet depth where everything feels suspended in calm, as though the world itself has paused in a moment that does not pass. The cottage remains still, wrapped in darkness and silence. The embers are now nearly gone, their glow reduced to the faintest suggestion of light, barely present within the hearth. You remain at rest, your body fully relaxed, your breathing slow and natural. There is no awareness of time, no sense of beginning or ending, only the gentle continuation of stillness. The air feels cool and steady, unchanged and unmoving, carrying no shift, no variation, only quiet balance. The wooden structure around you remains silent and firm, holding its place without movement, as though it is part of the night itself. Outside, the village lies in complete stillness, every path empty, every home quiet beneath the vast and endless sky. The stars remain distant and constant, their soft glow unchanged, offering no movement, no signal, only presence. A deep and uninterrupted silence fills every corner, leaving nothing to disturb the calm. Everything is exactly as it should be. Your breathing continues slowly, each inhale and exhale blending seamlessly into the quiet around you. The embers rest in near darkness, their light almost gone, yet still softly present. And in this final depth of night, everything feels complete, resting in a calm that does not change, does not move, and does not end. The night continues in a quiet stillness that feels complete and unbroken, as though nothing remains beyond this calm and gentle moment. The cottage rests in near total darkness, holding a soft and steady silence. The embers have now faded to the faintest trace, their presence barely visible, yet still quietly there within the hearth. You remain fully at rest, your body relaxed, your breath slow and even. There is no movement, no awareness of time, only the peaceful continuation of stillness. The air feels cool and balanced, unchanged and unmoving, carrying no sound, no shift, only a quiet presence that surrounds everything. The wooden walls and beams remain silent, steady and still, as though they have become part of the night itself. Outside, the village lies in complete calm, every path empty, every home resting beneath the wide and silent sky. The stars remain distant and unchanged, their soft glow constant, offering a quiet sense of endless space. A deep and uninterrupted silence fills every part of the space, leaving nothing to disturb the calm. Everything remains exactly as it is. Your breathing continues gently, each inhale blending softly into the next exhale, forming a slow and natural rhythm. The embers rest without movement, their faint glow almost gone, yet still present in a subtle way. And in this quiet depth, everything feels whole, complete, and entirely at peace, as the night continues without change, without movement, and without end. The stillness deepens into something even softer, as though the night itself has gently settled into a final state of calm. The cottage remains quiet, wrapped in a darkness that feels peaceful and complete. The embers are now nearly invisible, their glow reduced to a quiet memory of light, barely present within the hearth. You remain unmoving, your body fully at ease, your breath slow and effortless. There is no sense of time, no awareness of anything beyond the calm presence of rest. The air feels cool and steady, unchanged and unmoving, holding a gentle balance that does not shift. The wooden structure around you remains silent, firm and still, as though it too has come to rest. Outside, the village continues in perfect quiet, each path empty, each home still beneath the vast night sky. The stars above remain distant and constant, their soft glow unchanged, offering a quiet sense of continuity. A deep calm fills every corner, leaving nothing to interrupt the silence. Everything remains exactly as it should be. Your breathing continues slowly, steady and natural, blending completely with the stillness around you. The embers rest in near darkness, their light almost gone, yet still softly present. And as the night continues in this gentle quiet, everything feels complete, resting in a calm that does not move, does not change, and does not end. The night rests in its deepest stillness, calm and unchanging, as though the world has gently come to a complete and peaceful pause. The cottage is now fully quiet, wrapped in darkness and silence. The embers have faded into near invisibility, leaving only the softest trace of warmth behind, barely felt yet quietly present. You remain completely at rest, your body relaxed, your breath slow and steady. There is no movement, no awareness, only the gentle continuation of calm. The air is cool and perfectly still, carrying no sound, no shift, only a quiet balance that remains unchanged. The wooden walls and beams stand silent, unmoving and constant, as though they have become part of the night itself. Outside, the village lies in perfect stillness, every path empty, every home resting beneath the wide and endless sky. The stars remain distant and soft, their glow steady and unchanging, offering a quiet sense of endless space. A deep and uninterrupted silence fills everything, leaving no room for disturbance, no space for change. Everything is exactly as it is. Your breathing continues slowly, each inhale and exhale flowing naturally into the next, blending seamlessly with the stillness around you. And as the final quiet settles completely, everything feels whole, complete, and entirely at peace, resting gently in a calm that does not move, does not change, and does not end. And in this stillness, you drift softly into rest,